Isle of Dogs is directed by Wes Anderson and tells a story of a young boy who is searching for his dog named Spots. Spots had previously been exiled to Trash Island, a remote island off the city of Megasaki, which the mayor Kobayashi, with his hatred of dogs and the outbreak of the dog flu, had exiled all dogs to this trash island. This young boy goes to Trash Island to try to find his dog, and a pack of wild dogs help this young boy find his dog. I admire all Wes Anderson films, and his craft is so unique. And when you're watching a Wes Anderson film, you can quickly tell that it is directed by him. Isle of Dogs is yet another great Wes Anderson film. This is stop animated movie, and this is crafted so well. And as I was watching this movie, I just couldn't help but think of all the effort going into making this movie. I've watched behind the scenes making of this movie a couple of times, and it is so astounding, the craft and hard work going into making this movie. And it really does show. Everything from the dogs to the humans to the city to the smoke, it all looks beautiful, and I can't help but applaud Wes Anderson and the crew on making this movie. It looks really great. It's one of those movies where I love watching it. It could be bad or it could be good, but I could really enjoy watching this movie for what it looks like. But it is a great movie. It has a lot of relatable characters, even though most of them are dogs. You can relate to them because they are missing their masters and they just want to be home with their family. But they are exiled on this trash island. We have this young boy who's looking for his dog, and surprisingly, this movie packs a lot of emotions. In this movie, you have a lot of the characters that end up crying throughout the movie, but it packs that emotion where a lot of the audience members and myself kind of like awed and gasped a little. You really feel a connection between this young boy and his dog Spots. Even though we got just flashback scenes of them, you felt that raw connection between them. And that's where I think Isle of Dogs really works, is that it has these dogs that have this disease and they're on this island, but they do have feelings as well, and they have that connection that you might have not seen in the movie at all. We have a lot of great voice cast members in here playing these dogs, and you don't get to see them and their masters, and you can tell though that they miss them. Speaking of voice cast, this has a lot of people in this movie, a lot of people that have previously starred in a Wes Anderson film, like Bill Murray. We also do get newcomers as well, like Bryan Cranston and Greta Gerwig are in this movie, and I think that each one of them brings something different to the table. We have Jeff Goldblum as a dog, which works so well. Bryan Cranston, there's so many people in here that I admired listening to them portray a dog. It was really sweet. Now, one thing I would take away from this movie and say was a complaint is that there's a couple scenes throughout the middle of the film that I felt like were missing a scene. We had one scene that ended the previous scene, and then they jumped into another scene. And the way they jumped into that next scene, it almost felt like it was missing something in the middle. It was just missing a couple scenes to tie in the previous sequence. And when I saw that, I was kind of taken back, and it kind of hit me. I'm like, did I miss something, or is the movie skipping? So I felt like this movie could have benefited from a couple more minutes of runtime, because I felt like certain scenes were missing in this movie. But nonetheless, this is a really fun movie. It's actually really hilarious. I laughed a lot in here. The opening sequence of them telling about the Isle of Dogs and how the movie is going to be told, I thought was a smart move. A lot of the voice actors bring a lot of humor to the movie, and this is beautiful to look at, and I really applaud the crew behind making this movie because it is so beautiful, and you know, the detail going into the city of the characters, it really does show. So I'm going to go ahead and give Isle of Dogs an A-. What did you think about this new Wes Anderson film? I've been looking forward to this movie for a while. I'm so happy it played at a theater near me. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I will be ranking all 9 Wes Anderson films from worst to best. I've been doing all Wes Anderson reviews leading up to this movie with some really awesome YouTubers. I'll put a link down below for each one of those videos that you can check out. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watching Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.